Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, let's get into this, shall we? Let's do a check in on the topic of love. We shall see where this one takes us, wherever the story goes. And then I will, right after this, I'll jump back on and we'll do a Cancer story because it's Tuesday. So we start with the Knight of Swords. Okay, so we may have a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius for our first character. Hi, Ash Cash. Or this could simply be somebody who wants to move forward. We'll see. Slate Princess, Polka Dot Suzanne, Ginger, so wonderful to see everybody tonight. We have a King of Cups. Okay, somebody just uh oh god, what's the song? Boom Clap, Charlie XCX. Somebody's heart just like that's it. They just got hit. They just got hit with that love bug. They just got the emotions. It came in suddenly. I don't know if this person expected to fall in love. King of Cups, who'd you fall for? Oh, a High Priestess. Well, obviously, she did come out sideways. So I'm thinking that maybe this is a love at first sight. Maybe she's struck just as swiftly. Maybe High Priestesses tend to sense intuitively when there's a crackle in the air, when there's something new going on, when there's an energy flow or a vibe, and they tend to pick up on things the same way, because she's more like in tuned, more intuitive, more instinctual. She maybe has premonitions, senses things that are about to occur or things that are coming into her world. His world doesn't matter. This could be same-sex couple, but for right now, we're going to say him and her. She is probably less suddenly stunned than he is, but I can see why he'd be, captivated by her, because a High Priestess is like a force of nature. A High Priestess is the pull of a magnet. It's that gravitational tug. We have a Five of Pentacles in the reverse. If anything, I think that these two already feel as like a sense of wholeness just from maybe eye contact. There's something here where it's like, oh damn, this I can't unsee what I just saw. I can't unknow what I now know. Can I ask, how are these two like bonding, or how are these two connecting? Where is that? Is this like just from a look? Is this two people barely meeting? Is this two people that were friends that are waking up one day and realizing that you're more than that to me? Judgment. Judgment is typically going to be the energy of reconciliation. Ace of Swords. Did these two have an argument or a fight? And it's actually, it was a breakup only to say this doesn't work. We have to make up because I can't walk away from this. Seven of Coins. Give me one more on the Judgment before I say anything, because I'm murky on this still. We've got the Nine of Wands and we've got the World. Nine of Wands is wounded warrior energy. The World is endings with new beginnings. The Judgment is a reconciliation or acceptance. But we've got this, like, here it says that we've had passage of time. Here it says there was an abrupt break. Here it says that these two are like seeing each other again after a long period of time. And this time it's like, oh my God, there's no way that I could do without you. But my question then would be, what is it that made it so that these two didn't know that on round one? Like, were they, let's say middle school sweethearts? And then, who we are in middle school is a true essence of who we are, but then we also change throughout our lifespan, and life takes us in different directions, and we mature and we become adults, and then we find ourselves and we identify who we are as real adults, and then the core of who we were and who we loved turns out, guess what, we're still that person. And these two meet as adults later on, and it's like, we only had whatever, we went to the school dance, but now we meet again as adults, and it's like so obvious that you're my person. It could be something like that. For this to come in so like instantaneous, and for it to be not exactly a surprise, but it to feel so much like home. I'm thinking that these are two people who have already had history. They already interacted together, but I do not feel like it was a context of, some really serious, like, oh, we're dating, we've been together for 3 years. Now we had a fight, but now we get back together and everything is so perfect. I'm feeling like this is like a lighter kind of a connection, even if it was meaningful. Like I said, it could have been like a juvenile connection that, now these are adults that are meeting each other again after many years. That's more the vibe that this has to me, but let's figure out a little bit more. Tell me about who he was in the past. He was a Queen of Wands. He was somebody that I think was very attracted, very possibly egotistical, wanted a lot of attention, but also wanted freedom. So he was in feminine energy in the past, wanted people to want him, wanted people to choose him, but also wanted to pursue whatever this was that he wanted. So he could have been a bit egotistical, needing, support, but also very loving. This person was never like a egomaniac or anything, but in the past, he did need to go out and like find his true voice. He needed to go and explore the world a little bit. Okay, then who was she before? When they knew each other the first time around. Queen of Cups, she might have been very ready to be in a King and Queen of Cups relationship. She's a 1 in a billion. She was a 1 in a billion last time, but she was also much more mature. Six of Pentacles in the reverse. But even if she knew, I really love this person, she may have also simultaneously known, but it ain't going to happen for us right now. So this could have been one of those situations where, she could see, this is a great person. I really care about them. I really love them, but I know that we're not compatible right now, which would make sense for a high priestess. A high priestess knows. She knows. It's like maybe she knew from a long time ago, they're my person, but it ain't happening right now. And I don't even want to try this if I can see, and my gut instinct tells me there's no way we'll be successful or compatible right now. But they're a great person, and I do love them. Sometimes we can just say, or it's not even that we say it, it's that we feel it and we just know it. It's one of those truths that you can't really argue or fight. It's like, I already know that this is my person, but I also know now is not the time for us. I don't feel like there was heartbreak. I don't feel like there was, again, it felt more juvenile once upon a time. And now this is a relationship that, can be experienced by adults. And this is what needed to happen. I'm not even going to say right person, wrong time. It wasn't time yet. So it's not that it was a wrong time. It's that, it wasn't ready yet. They met, they have some awareness that the other one exists. She probably knew right out of the gate, this is really special. This is somebody who I will end up with, but I also know it's not happening today. It's not happening now. So we started out with the time is now, right? We saw this sudden, maturation in him, this sudden, like, holy smokes, this high priestess, this is the person I'm going to marry. And we see him much older, much wiser. We see him like opening his heart, like in a split second. And again, maybe that's because the groundwork was laid such a long time ago. These two, she already showed him love a long time ago. And it could have been very chaste. It could have been really, like, heck, these two could have worked together. And it could have been like, I can see that they're a great person. We have an attraction to each other, but I don't want to go down that road with him when I can already tell he's not really ready to give to somebody. This could have been two colleagues, two coworkers. They were attracted to each other, but absolutely nothing happened here because it was like, this is not the right time. But I do know that they're great. What I love about this is that this relationship has been completely, protected I don't want to say salvaged, because there was never anything that had to be salvaged from it. It was more that this is the relationship that didn't ever get going. Thank God. So they don't have bad blood. They don't have anything between them that's a problem or a hurdle, because they didn't get into something that was, just not ready yet. This has all been postponed. We have the Hanged Man, as I say the word postponed. Talk about perfect postponement. It's really about seeing things through a different lens, and usually that doesn't happen until we go through a life experience. It helps us see the world through a different lens, or helps us see ourselves through a different lens. Definitely the delay here, so useful, so important. And I do want to go back to the energy that exists between the two of them, especially with that Judgment card, because this is the two of them, connecting. We've got an 8 of Wands in the reverse, which is actually not swift action, though. Even though these two are obviously encountering each other, and it's a sudden, like, oh my God, this is my person. I knew you a long time ago. Now I'm encountering you again. And it's like written all over my heart. I know it's you. They still are not going to jump into, rushing into each other's arms, movie style, and kissy, let's run down and get married. That's not how this goes. This is still one that takes some time, it says. They don't even talk about this underlying, like, oh my God, I know it's you. It was always going to be you. I don't feel like they vocalized that to each other until, they need to ease into each other's company again, is what this looks like to me, which I think is really nice. I think it's kind of, I don't know, just a nice, gentle, let me morph into, who we might be to each other now. This is normally moving into calmer waters. Maybe they just get to sit in that wonderful, comfortable energy of, dang, it's good to see you. Like that alone is really sweet, really nice. Damn, it's good to see you. And that, enjoyment of, well, the Hierophant is sideways. This is like the shared consciousness. Like, I don't think these two even have to rush, because it's like, I already know I'm marrying you. I already know we got a long-term connection. You're part of my tree of life. My ancestors told me that a long time ago. It's come full circle. Here we are staring into each other's eyes. We both know it. It doesn't even need to be said from our lips, because it's just this, it just feels like it's just a click. Like, it's you. Yeah, it's definitely you. This feels really, like those scenes in certain movies where they build the tension, and if the actors are really, really amazing, we get to watch them have that moment where you can tell that they're just like, that's it, they're in love, and they didn't have to say all the words. Sometimes all the words aren't necessary. Sometimes, just the energy is palpable between two people, and that's what this feels like. This, I feel like, is going to be one of the easiest relationships for them to slip into the roles that they're going to play. There is no question mark. And again, I think a great deal of this certainty comes from the fact that they knew each other before. If they hadn't had that baseline, I don't think that these two would be so comfortable and confident. And when I say they're going to slip into the roles, they're not going to wonder, like, gosh, I wonder what they're thinking of me. Oh, I wonder, do they, am I annoying them? I don't really know where their comfort zone is. I don't know, is my humor too much for them? Is my, this or that, is that a turnoff for them? They don't have to learn that about each other. They're already there. And this comfort zone is huge, but he just like steps into the lead in this. Like, it feels as if our divine masculine, and again, it doesn't matter if he's a male or a female, but whoever's playing the role of the Knight of Cups shifting into the King of Cups, now shifting into the Emperor, he's going to be the lead. The energy of the sun is the action taker. And we just see him very clearly clicking with that High Priestess. And the High Priestess and the Emperor, that is actually our ultimate power couple. So I just said this today in a different video, but we have two kinds of Emperor, Empress, perfect counterpart dynamics. We have the 3D one, which is when we see the Emperor, Empress card. And then we have the 5D one, which is the equivalent of that, but it's the Magician combined with the High Priestess. Here we get one from each. That's the 5D. She comes from the 5D. He comes from the 3D. But this is actually our Emperor, Empress dynamic perfectly here. But now we've got the spiritual, intangible world, and we have the very tangible, very 3D world. So they're a perfect fusion. Perfect fusion. And he is able to just step right up and just, like, he doesn't have to question this. He's, wow, 2 of Cups. Do we do a mic drop? I wish I had a little, well, I have a mic, but it will make big noises if I drop it or chuck it. So we won't do that. But this storyline deserves a mic drop for sure. The fact that we got the 2 of Cups here, we can see why these two found their way back. We can see why these two are not having to question how the other one is feeling. It's right there in the eyes. I do feel like these two have already shared enough. Talk about like being able to open up the book of love or the chapter of life that, you know, they just now got to the next chapter and it's like getting super exciting. This is almost like watching a mini series, you know, where we've got to first set the story, right? We got to get to know the characters as we watch a television series. And then we start to see them on their adventures. And sometimes an episode will be just the backstory on just one character, or they'll trade it up and give us the backstory on the other character. Then we see them interact. And then sometimes we see the crises that they have to face separately. And then it comes back around. And that's basically what this storyline is. We just went through a teeny tiny mini series that gets us to the part where they can actually like form a bond. And now it's not their separate stories. It's their, my infinity ring just fell off. I don't know if that means bad thing, bad omen for infinity or what, but no, because the other one's still on. So I guess they'll be all right. But this looks like now their stories are interwoven, which is exactly what we saw here. Their stories will now be interwoven. That song by Big Kenny, Somewhere Under the Sun, you know, it's a real cute little story type of song, where it's like these individuals are like taking solo vacations, but they smash into each other at the airport, like physically. She dropped her attaché as he was walking to the bar. He reached and bumped into her arm, something like that. And anyway, so by the end of the song, it's like maybe now they'll call and reserve a room for 2. But it's all about somewhere under the sun. There's happiness and love. There's fun for everyone. It's a real fun, cute song, but that is like such a perfect, you know, song and dynamic for this particular story, because these two like found their way back to each other at the right time, at the right place. And they've been writing their chapters of their book of life, but now we got to a big juicy chapter, you know, now it's where their stories intertwine. And it just feels so confident and so easy. May I just look and say, do they have many, many adventures up ahead? I mean, obviously with this backdrop this week, I was all about the adventure. And so this week is all going to be about adventuring. So oh, this is so nice. It's the 10 of Cups. I love this. They have this is like the perfect ending of like a movie. This one felt very much like it should have been a movie, but here they are. And we're kind of seeing them like look out into their golden years, look out into the legacy that they have already created. It's like we're seeing them as they age through the years happily together. And we see that they've got, first off, they still have a lot more life to live together, but we see them like jump forward, you know, several dozen years, and they're still happily ever after. Still together, still writing a story together, interwoven. I loved that one. That's such a great ending. I feel like we should have an old-fashioned movie script that comes across as the end. That's a nice one. We rarely get such smooth, I'll say, reconciliations, such smooth, you know, step-by-step process. Universe, do you have anything to say to them that would be like helpful in this? Because this looks like this is the time for Two of Cups union. You know, I've been getting a lot of that even today on my other channel. I just did a video for Leo, Libra, Virgo, and Taurus. I did one for each of those four so far, and 2 out of the 4 got like a Two of Cups union. So these adventures, these journeys are like possibly bringing unions together right now, or at least half of them, and half of them are going in new directions into unions. But we've got the 3 of Wands. You know, all of this talk about somewhere under the sun. The great eye of the universe is right there in the sun saying, remember, this is all about our journey. And also remember, this is, you know, about our future. So our characters here, we would expect that they already have had a backstory, but we don't live in the past. We live in today, leaning into tomorrow. And that is going to, if they keep that in mind, that's going to help these characters find each other a lot faster. This is somewhere between 3 days to 3 months. So we have a timeline on this also. But for these characters to be able to lean toward that, it's like live in the present with a sense of calm, peace, and purpose, but look forward to one's future, because the future is very bright, it's very happy, and it involves, you know, great joy. You know what? I just like the fact that this one kept us moving forward the whole time. This wasn't about the past, even though we saw how important their past rapport was that they shared with each other, which is really nice. All right, you guys, I'm going to leave this one here. Yes, Suzette, the end. I know, right? That is exactly how that felt. Polka Dot Suzanne, how are you, sweetheart? Are you all recovered, my love? I'm so happy to see you out there. Miss So, the Peaceful Observer, wonderful to catch you. Hi, Patricia. Holly Light. April Fresh. Oh, I love that. April Fresh, yes, that's a great song. Vanessa Williams, Save the Best for Last. Probably not till tomorrow, AC. I'm probably not going to get Capricorn or Aquarius out until tomorrow, because I've still got a few other things to do tonight. So it will have to be, tomorrow will be probably finally we can get caught up on some of the actual zodiacs after after not having internet yesterday until late at night, and then being up until 3. And then today I was rocking on about 3.5, well, 4 hours. I got 4